us. We got that hot cup of coffee going for us. Great attitude. We're working on that this morning. It's Dixon inviting it, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Welcome in Thursday, April the 2nd, 2026. Thank goodness we got through with April Fools. There was a lot of stuff on social media yesterday.
The number of people who fell for stuff was hilarious.
Yeah, like, what was there was something locally at some park that they were, I know what it was. It was Trim Tab. They were going to put a swimming pool in the backside of Trim Tab.
Nice.
And you could buy these memberships and come out and use the pool and drink the beer at Trim Tab. And I was like, that's great. That was pretty funny on social media.
Right.
A lot of people falling for it. Really? Where do I get this membership? That sounds like a lot of fun. Can I bring the kids?
Now Trim Tab is like, wait a minute, that actually might not be a bad idea.
Actually, I thought it was pretty clever.
I thought one of the ones that I liked was the fact that they were going to put a massive roller coaster over its Lost Furnaces.
Yeah, I saw that too.
My friend Kyle Holman said he just got a job playing Carl Childers in the musical version of Sling Blade, playing in a theater on Times Square. And I was like, that is too good.
That is really
good. Because people were like, congratulations. I'm like, have you seen Sling Blade? Sling Blade the musical. It's just called Blade! ! No.
Oh, we live in an age, folks. Take a deep breath whenever you see something. And you know where we kind of learned this?
Yeah.
Is our emails. Like, don't respond immediately.
Right.
Take a breath. Take a minute and think about it. Is this real? Is this AI? Am I being tricked? You have to do that with almost everything in life now. It's like, don't react.
Yeah.
Don't react. Just take a breath a minute and think to yourself, this is not, no, something's fishy here.
Does my date have a penis? These are things we need to check on. Yeah, I know. It's a whole new world.
It is a whole new world. It's just crazy we have to do that every time. We're second guessing everything.
Here's someone you don't have to second guess. Alabama Tree Pros. 308-4158. They are only too happy to come out, take a look at your tree, and say whether or not it really needs to come down. It might just need a trimming. Maybe you want it down. You're just like, you know what? I don't like it there. It's blocking my view. I don't want it. I've never wanted it. Take it all the way down, grind the stump up, make it like it never happened. They can do that for you. On the other hand, if you're thinking, I'd really like to try to save this tree, if it's not too late, they'll give you tips on what you can do to keep it around for a little longer. That's going to save you money. It will save them time, and they'll get on to the next job, which is nice. But they know their stuff. They're very, very, very good at what they do, and less expensive than the other guys. What more could you hope for? Alabama Tree Pros, 308-4158, online at alabamatreepros.com. Of course, they're licensed, they're bonded, they're insured. They'll staple all that to the back of your very low estimate. alabamatreepros.com, 308-4158. This news just came in, Valerie. Iran is vowing humiliation, disgrace, permanent and certain regret for a crushed U.S. after the Trump address. Once we are going to crush them, and then they'll be humiliated. You're like, when does that start, by the way? Just out of curiosity.
It's just the little gnat on the end of your hand right now. You're like, really? Just come on.
Yeah.
Y'all don't have anything left. Your military has been obliterated. You have nothing. I mean, are you living in a cave and you don't really know whether it's daylight outside now or not?
I find fascinating when he said, we're going to bomb them back to the Stone Age. I'm like, you mean 2 weeks ago? Like, what is that exactly? They were already in the Stone Age, largely.
Jeez.
Let's address some of this because the president spoke last night, and I make no bones of the fact that was definitely a meeting that could have been an email. I just don't feel like he broke any new ground or said anything different. But you and I live in this world. I mean, all three of us, we eat, sleep, live, and breathe the news and stay on top of it on a daily basis. There may have been people tuning in who were like, we're at war with Iran? When did that start?
And you're absolutely right about that. I mean, we do take for granted that, we're so immersed in it that everything he said last night, pretty much all three of our shows yesterday covered all of that. And no disrespect to Donald Trump, because he's doing what he needs to do as a president. And some of that was trying to reassure some of the Americans that are all panicky because the gas prices. Here are the reasons why the gas prices are where they are. We're going to try to end the war in 2 and 3 weeks. And, maybe that's just to calm some nerves and to also give some people, you're seeing the president. He's in charge. He knows what he's doing. This is the game plan. Don't panic. Don't freak out. And, everything's going to be okay.
He started off by giving us the big reason why we bothered to go into Iran, and it sounded like cut number one, Steve.
From the very first day I announced my campaign for president in 2015, I have vowed that I would never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon.
You know, it's funny because every president has said that. This is the first one who's actually done anything about
Absolutely,
it.
he has.
Well, Barack Obama negotiated.
No.
Yeah.
No, Barack Obama gave pallets of cash to, and all that did was help them.
All that did was
help them.
Give the terrorists more money to work with. Very
Good
nice.
Gracious, what was he thinking?
Well, and he points this out that Donald Trump did in cut number 2 here. Give it a
For years, everyone has said that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons, but in the end, those are just words if you're not willing to take action when the time comes.
Amen. That's exactly right.
Then he decided to start giving us a little bit of a greatest hits. Let's relive the war so far. Cut 3.
Their leaders, most of them, terrorist regime they led, are now dead.
Doesn't get much more simple than that.
Nope, they're dead.
Yes, but boy, they're vowing revenge, and you're going to regret this, boy. You're going to really hate when we get done with you, you're going to be really sorry. Like, what are you going to do? Seriously? What are you going to? You can't even defend yourselves.
Listen, it's going to take a very long time. Whoever pops up as the leader of this country to get back where they were with the stockpile of stuff that they had and the drones that they had. It will take a long time.
Well, let's jump ahead to cut 8 because this is the plan for the future as far as the president is concerned.
These actions will cripple Iran military, crush their ability to support terrorist proxies, and deny them the ability to build a nuclear bomb.
He said in the next two to 3 weeks, we are going to really bomb the snot out of them. He didn't say snot, but he meant it. That's what he meant.
He meant there's not going to be much left.
And he's still working, by the way, on forming a deal, which is, this is a negotiating at the point of a gun, but sometimes that's the only way you can get these idiots to listen. So cut number 9, give us a quick listen here.
We're going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong.
That means, we've hit more than 11,000 targets. 11,000 targets. There are no ships left. Their Navy is sunk. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
Those ships are in the bottom of
That's right.
Hormuz and other places. And we know because there's no deal, because they're not coming to the table, because we know that there's a bunch of underground bunkers, Trump is right. Just let's take care of it all the way down to the ground. So there is literally nothing left. He's about to do that.
He did thank a lot of our partners in the Middle East. I don't know if we have that here, Steve. I know that we've got cut number 10 is those who did not help out. I find that interesting.
To those countries that can't get fuel, many of which refuse to get involved in the decapitation of Iran, we had to do it ourselves. I have a suggestion. Number 1, buy oil from the United States of America. We have plenty. We have so much. And number 2, build up some delayed courage. Should have done it before. Should have done it with us, as we asked. Go to the Strait and just take it. Protect it. Use it for yourselves.
Use it for yourselves.
Take it. He's right.
Take it. It's yours.
This is the opportunity, and they're afraid to do that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know of anyone that's going to do that. This is the opportunity because, again, America has come in and taken care of this for some of these countries that have been a little afraid of Iran and so afraid that they didn't want to get involved in this. And it was like, you're the one that's going to benefit from what the U.S. and Israel has done. Some of these other countries, you guys benefit from this, but you don't want to offer any help? Okay, President Trump will not forget that.
There was a bit of a remarkable moment that I think flew under the radar last night, and I saw it in print this morning, and I went, that's interesting. The president thanked our allies in the region who were helping us, and they consist of Israel, Qatar, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and I think Bahrain, 1 or 2 other small nations. And I thought, wait a minute, hold on. He just mentioned Israel as an ally in the midst of all these other countries. I don't think you've ever heard all those countries mentioned in the same sentence before as we're all working together on this. That's never really in my lifetime
have you heard that
been said, and it just sort of disappeared, just got buried up in the rest of the. And I thought, this is a remarkable time, and this is a remarkable guy who managed to make this happen, that we got everybody on the same page. But, hatred is a powerful uniter. I've long believed that there should be a dating app based upon what you hate. If you could just get two people together based on what you
they hate?
yes.
Okay,
that
rather
would
than
be
what they love?
Yes, exactly.
These are my likes. I like to eat this. I
Yeah,
like to shop
no.
here. I like this movie,
Yeah.
you know.
You hate
I like
broccoli?
to-
I hate broccoli. Yeah. Oh, I can't stand it. Liver and onions? Ugh, no thanks.
That's
I'm
really
with you. Yeah.
not a bad idea, Richard.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Hey, you need to
I don't know. It
copyright
sounds like
that.
that date would be a lot like having a date with Janine Garofalo.
Mutual hatred would be a wonderful thing. 6:16 with Dixon and Vining. We'll get this show up and lumbering under its own weight momentarily. Stick around.
Talk 99.5, talk995.com. It's 6:21, and you're listening to Dixon and Vining. Thank you a ton for that. You can check us out on YouTube as well. We're at Real Talk 995 TV. That's Real Talk 995 TV. If you get a minute this morning, we'll say hello to you and vice versa. Hey, EcoView Windows and Doors here in Birmingham. If you need some new windows and doors, I highly recommend Brian and Becky Jackson right here in Birmingham with EcoView Windows and Doors. And there's so many reasons to maybe replace those windows and doors if maybe you're dealing with, high energy bills. Maybe your gas bill over the winter was like, why is this so high? And, here we start to turn on the air conditioning in the middle of the summer. It gets pretty hot here, and you're running that air, and it's escaping your home. Maybe it's the windows and doors that you have there in your home. Let's replace them and let a little light in, maybe do something different. There's all kinds of options when you talk about EcoView Windows and Doors. Awning windows, bay windows, double-hung windows, fiberglass doors, patio doors are just a few of the things. Think about some sliding glass doors on the back of your home as well. And you'll be dealing with somebody, like I said, right here in our community, not some national chain that's not even in Alabama, and you're like, who are these people? Who are these people? It's Brian and Becky Jackson. That's who they are. 407-8161. Give them a call. And here's the other thing. It's always great to get a free quote. Becky says, no problem. We can give you that. There's a lot of flexible financing options as well that you can talk to her about. So reach out today. When it's time for some new windows and doors and you're ready to do that, get that free quote from EcoView at 407-8161.
And now, it's Dixon and Vining's top 3 things you need to know.
Well, what an exciting day it was to watch the launch of Artemis 2 to take a trip around the moon. How much fun. This is the first lunar voyage with 4 astronauts aboard since 1972. You were 8, I was 9. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
Something like that.
A few months apart we are.
Yep.
The goal is to land on the moon in 2028. That's just a few years away, and they're apparently still building what they need for that launch. The 32-story rocket took off from Kennedy Space Center, where tens of thousands of people gathered to witness the launch. It was a beautiful day yesterday. Here is what launch director Charlie Blackwell Thompson said just before. On this historic mission, you take with you the heart of this Artemis team, the daring spirit of the American people and our partners across the globe, and the hopes and dreams of a new generation. Good luck, Godspeed, Artemis 2, let's go.
Artie.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I got chill bumps. I stopped everything I was doing. I sat down in the living room and I was like, I want to see this with my own eyes because, again, we were pretty young. We were just kids.
When I saw that the window was starting at 5:24 our time, I was like, okay, so make a note to self. 5:10, you're in front of the TV. Yep. And I watched the whole thing as they walked through a couple of problems that they had and how they got them adjusted and fixed before takeoff. And I thought, boy, that must be so touch and go.
Oh,
They're like, we're having trouble with the transponder. Can you fix that real quick? We'd like to be tracked if that's possible. That would be an important thing. But yeah, it really does give you chill bumps like the olden days. I used to live in a place where I could walk out my door, take a left, just turn left and look and see pretty much everything that NASA threw up into the sky from about 45, 50 miles away, which was pretty cool. But I did see the last nighttime launch of the shuttle in person. Drove over there along with everybody else in the world.
Oh, I bet.
As near as I could tell. We got probably 8 miles away, and the whole road was just nonstop. So everybody just got out of their vehicles and set up their lawn chairs. You wouldn't have thought you were 8 miles away. I mean, you would have thought that you were right on top of the thing. With the way the ground shook and the way it's an amazing thing to witness in person. It was amazing to see on television. The American space program's back. We'll get into it a little bit more later in this hour.
Pretty neat stuff. Some exciting news for Alabamians. The House of Representatives passed a bill that will eliminate up to $1,000 in state income tax on qualified overtime pay. Then an amendment was offered by Representative Mike Shaw of Hoover to include a 60-day grocery tax holiday. Our state is following in the footsteps of President Trump's no tax on overtime, which was in his big, beautiful bill. House Bill 527 would apply to 2026 taxes and expire after 2028 unless it gets extended. So, again, slowly there is some trying to work on some breaks for, not only Americans, but here in the state of Alabama for Alabamians. That would be really great if we could get that.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how this works, but I do know that Alabama's legislature loves to leave itself some outs. It's like, we're going to do away with taxes on overtime for 2 years. And then if it didn't work out, if it turns out that was a bad idea, we're just going to cancel that and we'll go back to taxing you again. Oh, okay. We're going to do away with taxes on groceries a little at a time. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Make some bold, sweeping gestures.
We really need to do that. We really do we take baby steps in a lot of things that we do.
Yeah, we do.
Our state is a step closer, speaking of baby steps, a step closer to requiring that public classrooms display the 10 Commandments. The Senate passed the legislation on Tuesday and requires each local board of education to display the 10 Commandments and a context statement in each history classroom for students 5th through 12th grade and a common area of each school that serves only students in 5th grade or above. State Senator Keith Kelly said the bill's the bill's purpose is to acknowledge the historical role of the 10 Commandments and the broader Judeo-Christian tradition in shaping American civil society. The bill now will head to the House for consideration, and we'll see what they say about it. But this is kind of interesting.
Yeah, look, they're following in the footsteps of Louisiana managed to pull this off and get it through the Supreme Court. So they're saying, all right, well, we can do this too. I think it is putting a little cart before the horse. It's the concept that, well, things were better when we had the 10 Commandments hanging in our classrooms. Yeah, but there was a lot of other stuff that was different too. Yeah. Reminds me of years ago, there was a survey that showed that kids that ate a good breakfast got better grades. And so schools were like, well, we need to start feeding these kids breakfast. It's not about the breakfast. It's about the parents getting up and making sure their kids had something in their stomach before they went to school. You had involved parents, and that's the same thing with the 10 Commandments. Back then, you had parents that were involved. It was important to them that their children did well. Now, basically, we use schools as babysitters. We shunt our kids off into the schools, and then when they don't do well, we go and blame the teacher. Not the way we should be doing things.
No, absolutely not. Give teachers more of the ability to not only teach, but when there needs to be some correction, that they're allowed to do that. And you're so right that a lot is lost in, parents being engaged with their kids, not only about what they're doing in the classroom as far as grades, but also what they need to be doing at home to prepare for that, eating right, and all of those other good things.
And teach your kids the 10 Commandments at home so they know what they're looking at when it's on the wall over there. Parent Structural Services, ParentSS.com, 668-2626. When the foundation starts to go south, these are the folks that you want to get in touch with. Why? Because they have a tool for every issue you might face. If you are on a slab, a lot of things run through that slab. There's electrical conduit, there's water lines, sewer lines. You don't want to drill through that, but sometimes you have to drill a hole through the slab in order to get the slab back on the up and up. They have a very cool device that allows them to see right through that slab to see what's down there, what's in there, what they might be hitting, make sure that they drill in the right spots. It's pretty cool. That's just one of the many, many scientific James Bondy tools they have over there at Parrott Structural. 668-2626. Licensed, bonded, insured, and E-Verify compliant. And the ones who say, get a structural engineer, you won't regret it. Parrott Structural Services, 668-2626. Stick around. But only for a moment, hopefully. They'll be back talking about the crew of Artemis, right?
Yeah, 10 days, 9 days now, right? They'll be back in 9 days.
That's the plan.
The trip around the moon.
636 Dixon Inviting, Talk 995, talk995.com.
Let's talk with this guy because he's got a brand new business, and I'm so excited for him, kind of venturing into something new. It is Craig Westbrook over at Birmingham Broker. Good morning to you, Craig. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great, refreshed.
Yes, I'm glad to hear it. Was that?
Yeah, we spent last week. My little cousin George, he got married in the British Virgin Islands, and we have never been, and took the whole family.
Was it beautiful?
And unreal. It's just it's breathtaking. But then you come back to reality.
Sure.
You've got a lot to figure out. So. Hence why I'm calling you guys.
Mm-hmm. I am so. Yesterday we had I had an opportunity to talk about it. Why don't you spill the beans further about this brand new business, kind of a venture to the side of what you do at Birmingham Broker?
Absolutely. We've started a little business, a DBA called BB Electric Moto, and we are selling all the these electric dirt bikes that you see running around. That are amazing brands like I'm sure the main three brands that people have heard of are Sur-Ron, E-Ride Pro, and Talaria. If those names ring a bell, then you know the types of bikes that we're talking about. But they're like a mid-size bike. They weigh anywhere between 120 to about 170, 180 pounds. Mm-hmm. They're all electric, extremely torquey. They're just a blast. People love to take them riding through the woods. They don't disturb the wildlife. They're great for hunters to get to their stands, to drag their kills out on sleds, just recreation. I mean, I am in it and passionate about it because of my son, who just turned 14, who loves to ride, and so he and I ride all the time. And I ride now with my 11-year-old daughter, and it's just therapeutic. And I've just quickly fallen head over heels for the product. So I said, well, let's just try to make a go of it, nestle it inside Birmingham Broker so we can do it on a shoestring and try to get some products out there and see if we can't build a nice culture here in Birmingham around it.
So BB Electric Moto, you've got a grand opening. Talk to us a little bit about it's coming up and what you guys are going to be doing during the grand opening.
It is. It's going to be April 11th, and which is a Saturday. We are trying to get 23rd Street between 4th and 3rd closed.
Oh, that would be great.
For it, you know, so we could kind of do some riding back and forth. People can try out the different products. But we're going to have Andrew, our sales guy, his brother, is going to come and be a DJ, and Will at Chubb Fathers is going to come out and provide food and. We're going to be having a huge raffle thing. We've got tons of stuff to give away.
And is this all day? Is it all day the 11th?
Originally it was going to be 11 to 1, but I think we're going to do from about 11 to 3.
Okay. Great. Craig, I'm so excited. And thank goodness for your son, because I think that you'll do very well with these. These bikes look like real dirt bikes. They don't look like electric bikes in any shape, form, or fashion. And I'm like, oh, these are super cool. How much fun. Especially if you had some land and a farm or something, you could tool around on these things as well. But I'm thrilled for you, and BBElectricMoto.com, again, right there with you at Birmingham Broker. This is going to be a fun adventure for you.
Thank you. And can I add one thing?
Yes, sir.
So I came back with the news that we sold 40. Now we're talking about Birmingham Broker. We sold 42 cars last month, but we only took in 30. So I'm doing my cry out, because whenever we bring in less than what we sell, that falls on my shoulders.
Yeah.
And it means I did not do my job of acquiring more vehicles for our salespeople. So, guys, things are selling like crazy. So don't trade in your vehicle. Get more. Don't let anything be sitting in your driveway thinking, well, I'm going to keep it as a backup car just so you can pay insurance on it every month and buy tires and batteries for it. If you've got something sitting around, an estate situation, anything, bring us your car and let us sell it. things are turning quickly, and my job is just to put a bigger check in the pocket of your listening audience. So keep us in mind at Birmingham Broker as well.
Sounds great. Craig, thank you so much. Good luck with the new business. And if you want to get in touch with Craig, BehamBroker.com. He's in downtown Birmingham, 2224 4th Avenue South. Go see him. Go check out the bikes. Take him your used vehicle. He'll sell it quick. Craig, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Appreciate you, brother.
How about that?
641 with Dixon and Vining. Something that really struck me during the Artemis launch yesterday. We had something, and I wish I could. Atlas, I think it was called. George W. Bush was the guy who actually was leading the country at the time that they were talking about going back to the moon, having a moon base, and trying to go from there to Mars. Okay?
Right.
That was the plan. Well, the Atlas rocket never really worked out properly. They had a couple of failures. That's not really a surprise. You know, when it comes to space, you're going to have some failures. Yeah. This is why they try, and they're like, we're going to take a little circle of the Earth, okay? Now we're going to go up to the moon, and we're going to circle that and come back. You know, it's baby steps.
Yeah. Don't try to do it all at once because, you know, you need these opportunities to try different things.
Absolutely.
To make sure that they'll work.
So Atlas never really even got off the launch pad because it had so many flaws. And then Barack Obama became president in 2000 when he won the 2008 election and took over in January of 2009. And one of the first things he did was like, NASA, screw it. We're not doing that anymore. I mean, he just yanked all the funding. He told Congress, I don't want to do this anymore. We have so many problems here that we need to take care of, that spending money on that is just ludicrous and superfluous and silly, and we shouldn't be doing it. Now, I get the sentiment. I do. I understand the thought process. And yet at the same time, since the first human being stood up and started walking, exploring has been our manifest destiny, hasn't it?
Absolutely, it has been.
We had people who were like, I wonder what's on the other side of this ice bridge. We need to go see what that's all about. And you end up with the Inuits, up in Alaska. Oh, I need to see what's on the other side of this. What's on the other side of the country? Hey, let's get these two guys, Lewis and Clark. Why don't you go explore that for us? Tell us what's happening over there. I need to see what's on the other side of this ocean.
Right. What's under the ocean?
We're
always exploring.
Always going and doing. And by the way, the technology that comes out of that, the amount of stuff that came out of the Apollo program, we wouldn't have. We would still have digital clocks and things like that, but they moved ahead by leaps and bounds as a result of all of that. Things like being able to put a camera on an arm on the outside of the lunar landing device, which they originally NASA was against, and then they were like, I don't care. I mean, some guys on the inside were like, we're doing it. We need to have that. We need to see it. Everybody needs to be there. Otherwise, they're going to say it never happened. There are still folks who say it never happened, by the way.
Yeah.
So Barack Obama shutting that down was twofold. Number one, it was bad that we decided that we were no longer going to use federal funds for that. But it was good that suddenly you got Elon Musk and SpaceX. You got Jeff Bezos and his, whatever the hell that thing is, Blue Origin, whatever it is. And you suddenly had 2 or 3 other private organizations pop up and say, wait a minute, we can do this. And lo and behold, they do it better. They do it better than NASA. NASA, with this Artemis, has taken on an awful lot of what they have learned from these other guys that are doing this and consequently are able to move forward. But it was Donald Trump in his first term that restarted the space program and said, we're going to go to the moon again.
We need to go to the moon again.
What were those plans? What did you guys have with the thing where we go up there? Okay, let's do that, except do it better. And now we've got more technology to work with. And to give credit where credit is due, Biden didn't pull the plug on it, but we didn't do much during that time.
Everything just kind of languished during those
I don't know about
4
you, but
years.
as a space freak, as a guy who was just absolutely enamored of all things space, going up through, what was there was a space station that was up there in the 1970s, Skylab. Skylab, that was it, yes, exactly. I remember, right through that time, I was really fixated on space. And then they said, well, we're coming up with a reusable spaceship. Oh, that's a great idea. We should come up with a reusable spaceship. About the 14th time they went up and go, let's see how ants behave in zero gravity. I was like, guys, We're done. We're done. Now you're just going up for going up's sake. Like,
Yeah.
what are you achieving?
Yeah. Find the next
yeah,
goal. What is the next goal?
If you're not going somewhere, you're just twiddling your thumbs. If you don't have a plan or an idea or, as you say, a goal in mind, what the hell are you doing? You're wasting money.
Yeah.
So I feel like it took 50 years, but the American space program is back on track. And you and I are not going to live to see. We might see the moon base get partially
start
built.
to be built.
Yeah.
Yes, I
But-
would be shocked if we saw it complete.
We're not going to be around to see man land on Mars, but it's going to happen. And the manifest destiny will continue as we continue to reach and go and see what's out there, and we develop new technologies. Necessity being the mother of invention. There's going to come a time where we go, well, we need to figure out how to X. And some scientists, some very smart people will get together and they'll figure out how to X, and then we'll figure out how we can use that technology in our everyday life.
Yeah. In the meantime, Artemis 2 needs to figure out how to fix the toilet because apparently it's broken this morning.
Oh, man.
They have a toilet. Usually they have to use
Yeah.
plastic bags
Yeah.
and some other stuff to take care
Well,
of
they're
business.
using that again
They
today.
have a toilet on
Yeah.
Artemis 2, but the toilet fan apparently broke last
Not
night.
the toilet fan.
So now they're
Oh, no.
walking them through
Oh.
how to fix the toilet fan
Oh, boy.
so that they can use the toilet.
Of all the low-tech things to go wrong, that's the
is that
last
not
one
hysterical?
You would be like,
we got you
no.
guys up. You're going around the
Yeah.
moon. What do you mean the toilet's not working? There's just one.
10 days.
Wait, what's that smell?
10 days of no toilet. Yikes.
Uh,
Jettison that stuff into space. 6:48 with Dixon and Vining. Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Stick around. Still the one more associated with Steely Dan than pretty much any other song was on their very first album, Can't Buy a Thrill. It's tough when you hit it out of the park the first time. It's hard to top yourself after that. 6:52, Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. I got to tell you a little bit about Anthony and Company Jewelers, my friends, down at 2080 Valleydale Road next to Ragtime Cafe. All right, you've got Easter coming up. Maybe you've got someone in your life that's expecting a little something for Easter. Maybe Mother's Day, that's not far behind. And then, of course, it is engagement season. It is wedding season. It's anniversary season. There's an awful lot of stuff going on here in the spring. Anthony and Company Jewelers, the solution to all of your jewelry issues. This is where you go. Talk to the folks about who it is you're buying for, what kind of stuff they already have, what you know they like, the things that they wear with some regularity, and get yourself a pendant, earrings, necklace, a bracelet of some kind, yes, a cocktail ring or more. Whatever it is you're looking for, they can make it happen. Plus, they have jewelry for men. They have high-end watches. They do all repairs in-house. They can even design something for you from scratch. Not in time for Easter. That's Sunday. But they can do it in time for Mother's Day, maybe. Stop by and find out more about it. 2080 Valleydale Road next to Ragtime Cafe. AnthonyCoJewelers.com online. Anthony and Company Jewelers. They are at 987-2224 on the telephone. Jerry the Angry Trucker asks this. He says, the only gripe I have is Trump keeps saying, we don't need Middle Eastern oil. We have plenty of oil. We have so much oil, Europe should be buying it from us. If that's the case, why has he allowed our fuel prices to skyrocket? It ticks me off when he says that while gas prices continue to increase. Explain it to me, please. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Jerry. You too.
I thought the same thing when Trump said this yesterday. He's like, we've got so much oil, it's amazing oil. I'm like, well, then how come gas is almost $4 a gallon in Birmingham?
I think every American that heard that yesterday was thinking the same thing.
But the reason is simple. Oil is a worldwide commodity. Okay? Yeah. And you say, well, we're producing a lot of oil here, but the government doesn't control that oil. That is controlled by oil companies. And they're going to sell it to the person who's going to pay them the most for it. So if we're not paying $109 a barrel, which is what it is right now, last I saw a couple of seconds ago, $109 a barrel, if we're like, well, we're only going to give you like $80 a barrel, they'll go, fine, we'll sell this to some people in Europe who will give us $109 a barrel. So that's why we have to continue to pay the same prices as everybody else when it comes to gasoline. We can do things like Brian Kemp, who took the 33 cent a gallon state gas tax off for 2 months. That would help a lot, but I wouldn't expect KIV to get on board with that anytime soon. And this will eventually, because soon there will be a glut of oil. There will be plenty of it. There will be no oversized demand for it. And so the price of gas will drop back down to like $2.65, $2.50, whatever. But in the meantime, you're going to have to tighten your belt a little bit there. I don't know. You're an angry trucker. Jerry, I realize that you probably have to buy an awful lot of diesel put in that rig.
I bet that's expensive.
I guarantee it is. I'm sorry about that. I hate the fact that you have to go through that.
Hopefully things will change here if Donald Trump is talking about the war ending in 2 to 3 weeks, or sooner. It might happen sooner than that. Hopefully we'll see those prices come back down.
Mike says, sorry, but electric bikes promote laziness in children. I don't think you know what we're talking about here.
These are like dirt bikes.
Yeah,
this is not a bicycle
right. Right.
Teach your child how to.
Gas-powered dirt bikes also create laziness in children, just so you know.
I think Craig did a pretty good job describing it. This doesn't have pedals.
No.
Right?
No.
This is like, it looks just like a dirt bike. Mm-hmm. It just happens to be an electric dirt bike.
Yep.
There's no pedals. There's no nothing. And it's really not meant for little kids.
No.
At whatever age you could ride a dirt bike, or you are comfortable with your son or daughter riding a real dirt bike, that's what this is.
There you go.
Because this thing will get up and it's gone. Yeah, they fly.
Got some giddy up.
And go. So check it out.
Charles says, good morning. The Artemis 2 launch was incredible. It's great to see something like that with all the insanity in the world. Have a great day. Yeah, I would agree. It was nice to see that. You could put the No Kings protests and the war behind us for a minute and actually kind of pull together as a nation, and we can all pray for the astronauts and hope that things go incredibly well on this trip. They're going around the Earth first. They tend to do that. They're going to be like, let's take a trip around the block, make sure that everything works properly before we take off to the moon. And now that we know that the toilet's not working properly, as Clay says, got them to space, and immediately it hit the fan. Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's exactly you're right on.
If they can pull it together, otherwise they're like, oh. And none of them. There's not one of them of the four that are like, yeah, let's go back and get this fixed. Every one of them's going to be like, no, we're going to figure out a way to do this without the toilet if we have to.
Well, they probably. I'm sure they have all of these things in place. They have a backup plan.
Oh, sure.
If they have to go back to the way that they did it before because they didn't have a toilet before,
right?
That's, I'm sure, all set up. If you have any problem with the toilet, you got to go back to the old way of doing things.
The Artemis outhouse.
Where they just dangle them outside.
That's right. They just
by a cord. Go ahead, let it go. Could you imagine?
Shirley says a UAB research physician went on one mission, was able to do experiments in space that where anti-gravity was needed. Yes, I'm aware of that. That is what we did. We did a lot of that with the shuttle, and it became quite tedious because, again, we didn't seem to have a direction we were going in. Nobody could really tell you, what are we aiming for? What are we trying to do? Oh, I don't know. Just fly around up there, I guess. Just fly around up there.
You got to have a plan.
Did you know there was a Kit Kat cereal?
I saw that. That's an old post by Dave.
I know.
But it was the first thing that popped up. I was like, yesterday, as a matter of fact, he put that up. During Andrew's show, Skippy! Kit Kat cereal. No, I don't want to know about that. You know why? That's not cereal. That's just, a
Kit
sugar
Kats.
snack.
Yeah, you say that like it's a bad thing.
It's just, that's...
Did you the 12,000 pounds of Kit Kats, by the way, that got stolen in Europe?
Did they find it?
No, they did not. But it led to some very hilarious Twitter posts from people like Burger King who were saying, we're so sorry to hear about our friends at Kit Kat's losing 12,000 pounds of their product in a hijacking that took place in Europe. On an unrelated note, our new Kit Kat pies are going to be available for, everybody was jumping up and coming into the party with us. It was, we got a new Kit Kat shake. Our Kit Kat smoothie is going to be, have you heard about the new Kit Kat Frosty? Wendy's is in there. They're all like, what are the odds that this would happen at the same time? Now Kit Kat's on board, and they're like, okay, scan this or put this number in. If you buy a Kit Kat bar, put the number into this search engine, and we'll tell you whether or not it was one of the stolen ones. So now they're like, buy a Kit Kat. Find out if you could be the receiver of stolen goods. Way to play it, Kit Kat.